Personally, I have always known, from the time I was a child, I have always known the truth. Even though, in fact, the only time I became confused is when I was a young child, people I expected to have the answers, which in my case I was in a Catholic convent boarding school. So when I would expect priests and nuns and men and women of God to have the answers, and I realized as soon as I would ask them a deep question that they didn't know, they were not knowers, I would automatically put on my inner sifter and sift the truth from the falsehood, because I came in knowing. Mm-hmm. Now, there are many, many souls, particularly people who are attracted to my teachings. I don't think everyone would be. I am for those ripened fruits on the tree of life that are rather ready to fall into the mouth of God, as it were. And that's why we must live, work, and teach out of our direct experience, not out of books, not out of indoctrination from other teachers. Those of you who are called to be teachers of light, and that's who I'm speaking to. I don't have a message for the masses. I don't have a message for people who are still preferring the boob tube and beer over knowing the self. I have no fellowship with people like that. There are teachers out there for that level. I am not one of them. And I won't talk down and compromise what I've come to share to make ignorance more comfortable with itself.
Right.
To make darkness more comfortable with its poor choices of expression. I will not do that. And because of that, I probably have a small listening audience, but it's not for the many that I've come, but for the few that are going to be Christ's. There are some of you listening to my voice that are Christed souls. That means you are anointed with truth and light and awareness, and you have to get out there into the world, into the media, into the ears of people who are dying for that lack of true teaching. We are to be the Melchizedeks. A Melchizedek is an elder that comes forth with the keys of consciousness transformation. They have the keys to spiritual inner awareness that opens those locks of consciousness energetically, I would say, because they don't come and do it for you, but they give you the ability to move into those areas. They point the way so that you can get inside and begin to unlock and decode your own self and God realized states. Those are the true teachers. If you find such a teacher, my God, go and sit in their lap and draw from them everything you can possibly get while you have that blessing of them.
Are you still with us, Athena? Well, that's
most precious of diamonds. And like diamonds, they're not in the marketplace.
No, they aren't. I mean...
no, they are, because many of our young children coming in are masters. They're exactly like the ones that I was describing that come in knowing that they know, that they know, that they know. Your children are probably the best gurus on the planet right now.
If you had to, speaking of the children that are coming in now, even the babies that are being born, in, let's say, a 20-year period, and I know it's going to be far less than that now, but if we had to take a timeline, which I don't usually like to do, but if we look at these children now, what kind of planet will Earth be when they get to be 20?
I tell you, no one is holding back the manifestation of the full glory of God on this planet. The only thing that's holding them back is the perception of becoming, the perception of bottom looking up to something great that's greater than they are. You have to know that the greatness is in you. It's around you. You live and move and exist within the greatness of the all that is. There is no time. Mm-hmm. There is no space. There is no separation. These are all false understandings and part of the misidentification of consciousness. You have to just realize that only you prevent the full manifestation of the return of the glory of the Christ that you are now. What is that keeps us from doing that? Well, there is an angel at the gate or a dweller on the threshold, depending on how you want to view it. But all of the misperceptions of self have gone into a Van Allen belt of flotsam and jetsam that floats around the periphery of your magnificence. These are thought forms, belief systems, projections of other people, things you've read and believed and taken on, which justify you living a limited life that's less than what you know you could live. It forms, as it were, a barrier, and since you created it, you have to dissolve it. It's not going to go away. No one's going to come around you and magically deliver you from the prison that you have as a soul with free will created around your magnificence. You can sit in that prison all, for several more yugas if you want, but the door has always been open. There is no lock. There really isn't even any bars. These are just thought forms. And you, as the Christ I am, that you are, have authority and dominion over the household of your consciousness. You have authority and dominion over the words you speak, over the thoughts you think, over the company that you keep. If you hang out all of your life with unenlightened, ignorant people living in the flesh, living for nothing more than material benefits and gains that will die with their bodies, what do you think you're going to grow into? You have to seek out those people, those places, and those things that are living in the level of light awareness that you would like to be involved with. And if you can't find them, then keep your own counsel. Live alone and live in the kingdom of God within your own inner apartments. But do not hang out with ignorance and darkness. It says in the Bible, what fellowship has light with darkness? Right. Flee ungodly company. What's ungodly company? People that are just not willing to do what it takes to step into the divinity that they are. They're not willing for whatever reason. And you can see them and you can hear them everywhere around you. That's why it's said that narrow is the way and few there are that find it that leads to life. And broad is the path that most walk to perdition. Well, what does perdition mean? It means that the light that is not used in a conscious way to build an identity in the higher spiritual planes returns to source and is recycled into those life forms that are most in need of it. So you lose all the accumulation. We have to build a reality and bodies of light that exist and operate on higher levels. Thankfully, this is not left entirely to us. We do have masters, angels, teachers, and guides, benefactors, well-wishers, and mentors that exist multidimensionally, that guard and guide and shepherd the soul. They are called the members of the Office of the Christ and the Order of Melchizedek, which are multidimensional, intergalactic, interspatial beings. And if there are fallen masters, and it stands to reason there are glorious non-fallen sons and daughters of God who mentor and look out for the well-being of humanity. And even the tiniest little steps, Sai Baba said, take one step towards me, meaning God, and I will take 1,000 to you. I have the love of thousands of mothers. Come to me. I will give you bliss. Give me the ravages of your mind, your worries, your problems, your troubles, and take from me bliss. I have come just for this purpose. Now here you hear the voice of a cosmic Christ speaking, a being who is embodying God consciousness. There are such immeasurable jewels upon this planet. And this particular jewel you can get in an airplane and go see in India. So there are beings who are at a level that can impart tremendously glorious things, but they will not do it for you, but they will show you how to do it. And when you fall, they will lift you up and bear you into a place where you can get your footing again.
Now, one of the things, and what you said is true, is going backtracking a little bit about this thing, the word time and space, the illusion of that. There is no such thing as just setting up a time and space, which puts somebody in a sense of limitation. How did that time and space become a reality on Earth, for example. Let's just look at the place where we are right now.